Love and light. This is Healthy Talk Show, recording live on Monday, January 27th, 2020. I'm Robert.
And I'm Marissa.
Show notes will be over at healthytalkshow.com/53.
On this episode of Healthy Talk Show, we have how the CIA reverse engineered its torture program, and Google invents an envelope to help with phone addiction. But first...
In Boston, the founder of Insys Therapeutics has been sentenced to 5.5 years in prison in a landmark case for the opioid crisis. John Kapoor and 4 other executives were convicted last May of a criminal conspiracy to bribe doctors to prescribe a highly addictive fentanyl spray to patients who didn't need it. One of the defendants allegedly gave a lap dance to a doctor at a company event in order to persuade him to prescribe the drug.
A lap dance? Wow.
Yeah, that's all it takes is a lap dance.
Yeah, that's it.
Opioids for everybody.
A lap dance? I'm willing to give lap dances too if you need them. Jeez Louise.
For donations.
Yeah, that's all it takes. Shoot, a lot easier than podcasting. A lot easier. 11 seconds.
Legal experts say the sentencing should be a warning to other drug company executives who've engaged in deceptive marketing practices and other schemes to push opioids.
Yeah, hopefully more.
I'm shocked they got some prison time, actually.
Yeah. I just want to point out on that clip originally, the noise was really bad. Let's listen to the original version.
In Boston, the founder of Insys Therapeutics has been sentenced to 5.5 years in prison in a landmark.
So I cleaned that up, just saying. Clean that up.
And she has a bigger production crew.
Yeah, she has a huge production. She has like 35 people on her crew.
We're a
two-person crew.
Yeah.
2-person crew.
Good job.
I know. They're in New York, staying in New York. PIX 11 News. City Council votes to officially ban cashless businesses in New York City.
You swipe, insert, or tap. It's become part of the consumer culture in New York City. The goal? To keep you moving. And it's the reason why some businesses like Sweet Green have completely gone cashless. But now it will be against the law as the Big Apple becomes the latest city to ban businesses from not accepting cash.
Cash is the great equalizer. It is the universal currency.
The legislation, which was sponsored by Bronx Councilman Richie Torres, will penalize brick-and-mortar businesses who don't accept cash with fines of up to $1,500. Supporters of the legislation, overwhelmingly passed by the City Council Thursday, say the cashless business model discriminates against the poor, homeless people, and undocumented immigrants.
I see the point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is hilarious, though.
Yeah.
But they have to have a law to make businesses accept cash, even though it's supposed to be a legal tender.
Yeah, I'm wondering though, are homeless people really lining up to go to Sweet Green then?
Well, guess which company they're not lining up for? This report covers
as they are more likely to be disconnected from the financial system.
Here we go.
The ban comes as many businesses move toward the so-called tap and pay model, like the cashierless Amazon Go, which now has 4 locations in the Big Apple.
Uh-oh, they have no cashiers. How are they going to accept cash?
Awkward.
Uh-oh.
Where customers only have to use an app to make purchases. After getting much pushback, Amazon announced last year it will accept cash at select locations.
Well, they have to really kick that up there. Not just select locations. It's going to be all locations Amazon.
Yeah. I didn't realize, though, that we needed a law for this.
Yeah, it doesn't. Well, New York City has a lot of laws anyways. I don't think you actually need a law for that. Pretty sure you're supposed to.
You know, I was trying to look into that law, and the argument is that it's only for if you owe a debt, I mean. So if you owe a debt to somebody, so let's say you went to a restaurant, you didn't know they were cashless, they brought out your meal, now you're in debt, they have to accept your cash.
Oh, so not up front.
Yeah, but that's why if you're cashless, you're supposed to advertise and let people know, hey, this is a cashless business.
Very interesting. But I know there are a lot of debates about that. You know,
yeah.
A lot of the libertarian forums I'm in, they're always talking about the cash thing.
That's my other question. Shouldn't that just be an opportunity for businesses that do accept cash?
Yeah.
I mean, it's supposed to be free market economy. If people are really demanding the cash.
This is New York City where they don't let people buy extra large sodas. This is regulation. This is over-regulation. Which something shouldn't even be regulated because, like you said, they don't accept the cash. Take your business elsewhere. Are homeless people going to the Amazon Go store? I hope not, because they're going to be getting ripped off. It's expensive.
Yeah. Well, then they're going to...
Yeah,
they won't let them in without that app.
You have to have a Prime membership, too, I think.
Jeez. I do get how it's discriminatory.
Absolutely is, but it's just funny because this is backfiring.
Yeah.
All the young kids want the apps, but now they have to deal with people with cash, checkbooks, Oh, come on, let me get this wallet out. It's going to drive the kids crazy. They cannot stand cash.
Yeah, they love the phone.
In the lines, if you pull out cash, the kids behind you, they roll their eyes. They're all upset about it. It's great. CBS Evening News, Arizona woman fights to keep frozen embryos.
Last chance to feel motherhood, to be able to carry a child and feel a kick.
Ruby Torres is coming to terms with the fact that she may never give birth to her own child after the Arizona Supreme Court ruled that she must donate her 7 frozen embryos to someone else.
It hurts very much to know that they won't be with me, that I may never see them grow.
Torres froze her eggs in 2014 after she was diagnosed with cancer. At the time, she and her husband both agreed to give express written consent before one could use the embryos to achieve a pregnancy. If the couple divorced, they agreed to donate the embryos.
Guess what happened?
I'm assuming they divorced.
Yes, they did.
Oh, man.
When the couple did divorce in 2017...
Why have a contract like that? It's just setting yourself up. Her
ex-husband refused to let Torres use the embryos.
No one should be forced to become a father with his ex-wife against his wishes.
So I don't get it, though. Because it's kind of weird, because I get how he doesn't want to pay child support or something, but they're going to donate them anyway, so then he's still going to have children. You just
won't know.
So then what's the point?
They're probably going to go with an anonymous process kind of thing. Yeah.
He doesn't have to know it. They don't have to talk again. I don't know. That was just my thought.
Yeah. Well, they have a contract for these embryos, so you already know the way these people think. They're probably, just lawyers getting rich.
Agreed, saying Torres must follow the contract she signed and donate the embryos. But her case propelled Arizona lawmakers to create a first-in-the-nation law.
Wait, what?
Yep, there it is. First-in-the-nation law.
Let's just hear that again.
I'm sorry, First-in-the-nation in Arizona.
The embryos. But her case propelled Arizona lawmakers to create a first-in-the-nation law, which now says in the case of divorce, frozen embryos will go to the spouse who intends to use them to have a baby. The law won't, however, help Torres.
Wait, what?
Yeah, well.
That was a lot.
Little laws. Why do you need a law for that? Just don't write it in the contract, or actually write the contract in the way that says that you could just do that if you want to have a freaking contract in the middle.
Yeah, or if he...
Arizona, you can't even get medical marijuana legalized, and you want to freaking over here, you're going to... How often does this happen? That you haven't a law for it? First of all, what the hell? Does this happen all the time in Arizona? Arizona, do you need a law for this? Is this so specific? What are you doing there? Waste of time.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Why do you need a law if it's not a problem?
Like, this goes back to divorce, the lawyers, and all this
lawyers.
Stuff.
It's the whole wedding industry as a whole. Going in, it's expensive. The marriage, the wedding part is expensive. Then getting out of the marriage is expensive. It's all expensive. It's just freaking screwing you at both ends. What is the point?
And why can't they ever come to a nice, amicable settlement?
Yeah, why does it always have to be these crazy alimony? It's crazy.
Yeah, she can have her baby. He doesn't have to be involved. That's fine.
Exactly. But it's not like that. It's never like that with
because
people.
Of the lawyers.
Yep. Get their fingers, get their claws into it. I know.
Like we covered last time on Holding Auction.
Yep. Now here's a controversial one. RT bill introduced to protect female athletes from transgender competition.
There's been all these cases of it happening in different sports, from wrestling to track and field. All these instances where biological males are competing against biological females in sports. And since they're males, they have more testosterone and bigger muscles and whatnot, because there are differences between the sexes.
Well, be careful there.
Unfortunately, we have to admit that.
Is that true? Whoa, that's true?
Yeah.
I got in trouble for saying that before. Oh, man. Okay, I'm glad you can say it. Whew. Glad somebody can say it.
Or at least there always has been in our society. So, people are getting pissed off, saying it's not fair to females to have to compete against males simply because those males feel female. It's been the source of outrage online for a few years. So now Congressman Greg Steube from Florida wants to do something about it. he has introduced H.R. 5603, which is the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act, which would require terms for gender in Title IX spending to be defined as something, quote, determined by a physician at birth, instead of being, quote, a person seeking to identify as a gender. In other words, if a school lets a male compete in a female sporting event because the male identifies as female, that school is not getting federal funding. And it's not just this one federal.
Yeah, you always pull the federal funding. That's how you get your way with. That's the dangerous thing about these federal funding, like, you know, the local police being federally funded, stuff like that's really dangerous. That's why.
Bill that's tackling the issue either. States across the country are introducing similar legislation with the intention of protecting women's rights to a fair competition.
Joe Rogan gets a lot of heat for this, talking about this, so we're not going to talk about it too much. He gets a lot of shit for this. But it's obviously an issue. It just applies some logic to the situation.
Yeah.
It's nothing really worth debating, really. I don't think we need laws for this. Again, you can just, I don't know, be rational human beings, maybe.
Yeah. Or
I don't know.
Maybe transgender women might compete with their biological sex.
Yeah.
The other thing is, too, this falls under the umbrella of Title IX, which has had a bunch of issues.
Oh, yeah.
Because some of those being that colleges risk losing their funding because they don't have like a male and female sports team, like equivalent sports team. But sometimes that's because females aren't interested in playing the sport.
Yeah.
So good intentions. Yeah. We'll see how it plays out.
Yep, we will. Switching gears to the coronavirus, or as they're calling it, the Wuhan virus in some areas. CNA concerns mount over economic toll of the Wuhan virus.
It may take quite some time before we know the full economic impact of the Wuhan virus, but the disruption is likely to dent China's economy. Now, that's because Wuhan is a major transport hub. In recent years, it's become a symbol of capitalism in central China, with international automakers such as Honda and General Motors building cars there. In fact, reports say that more than 300
building cars there. Wuhan. Yeah.
100 of the world's top 500 companies have a presence in Wuhan. Local government data showed that Wuhan's GDP growth was 7.8% last year. Now, that is 1.7 percentage points higher than the national average. Wuhan's economic strength last year came as its total value of imports and exports hit a record high. It was 13.7% higher than in 2018, and it accounted for almost 62% of Hubei province's overall foreign trade value.
Very interesting. Learning more and more about Wuhan.
I know. It's becoming more and more important.
Yeah, well.
We had that research facility. Now
there's
a lot of industry.
A lot of things there. China. Everyone's watching for that hospital, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm looking for it to be done. It's not done yet. I found a lot of time left.
How many more days?
Hospitals, I think 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they better finish. All right, PBS NewsHour, how the end of a major tax incentive may impact wind energy.
Well, I've always enjoyed the wind. Where my house sits, I get wind coming from this direction and that direction. I didn't think it'd ever make me any money.
Key there, money. Happy about the money.
Oh, yeah. 8 of the 191 turbines that make up the Aviator Wind project will be on Ferris's property. Together, landowners negotiated how much they would earn when the turbines spin. Apex Clean Energy, which is developing the project, estimates that Aviator will generate $172 million for the 80 participating landowners. Ferris didn't want to disclose exactly how much he expects to make, but with his 8 turbines, he could easily earn 6 figures a year.
I would love to know.
Yeah, there's a reason why he doesn't want you to know. There's a reason why he wouldn't disclose that. He's a greedy Texan making money on that wind energy.
If you have a bad year, this gives you an income to keep the ranch running.
When Aviator Wind is completed, it will produce 525 megawatts of energy each year, enough to power about 185,000 homes. The turbine blades being installed at Aviator are nearly 60% bigger than ones on turbines installed less than a decade ago. This helps each turbine generate more electricity, in turn driving down the price of the power it captures. Wind power in the United States has also gotten a big boost from a federal subsidy called the Production Tax Credit, or PTC. First passed in 1992 as part of the Bipartisan Energy Policy Act, it's one of several incentives to support renewable energy technologies in the United States. The PTC provides a subsidy to wind energy producers for each kilowatt of energy generated for the first decade of a project's operation. While the credit was originally scheduled to end in 1999, it has been extended by Congress 12 times since then.
Wow. 12. Wow.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about this report, I took a lot of it out, of course, but they're talking about, they left a little in with the, oh yeah, now the technology is way better than it was 10 years ago. That's always the talk. The nuclear people say the same thing, and I believe it.
Yeah.
But they're not getting the same break, so screw these wind people.
With the PTC was to say, okay, we've got these technologies that don't seem to be developing as fast as we want them to, so let's put an incentive there.
Melissa Lott is a senior research scholar at Columbia University's Center on Global Energy Policy.
So if you look back at 1992 and you look at onshore wind, we had somewhere around 1.5 gigawatts of wind. And if you look at it today, fast forward, we're talking at having over 100 gigawatts of wind power in the country. It's producing 7% of the electricity.
I like that chart. 7% electricity. Nuclear is way more.
Yeah. How come they never get
And
any?
I love the gas because gas is also part of the wind. So they have to actually make gas. Hopefully they're compensating for that. Nobody talks about the gas feeding these wind turbines.
Oh, yeah.
In this country at this time. Since 2011, we've seen the amount of wind on the system double. That's incredible growth.
What about nuclear? Nuclear's not getting these tax breaks or anything.
Yep.
They're doing just fine. What about nuclear?
At the same time, the PTC has also helped push down the wholesale cost of wind energy by about 70% in the last decade.
70%?
Onshore wind looks like
70%. Yeah.
That's a big
So
cost reduction.
when it goes away.
Yeah, I'm really curious if they're going to be able to compete.
Well, they're rushing these projects.
Competitive in a significant number of states in the U.S. So if the idea behind the PTC was to say, okay, we're going to help a technology that's not quite there, well, in the case of wind, maybe it is there now.
And that's exactly...
Maybe it is there now. Maybe.
But what about
nuclear and stuff that actually works?
Yeah.
No, let's just stick with wind.
Exactly what lawmakers have determined. After nearly 30 years, Congress is phasing out the PTC.
Good.
Wind projects need to be operational by the end of 2020 to receive the full credit, with the incentive completely disappearing by 2024. That means projects like Aviator are racing to be up and spinning this year.
Which means they're probably going to suck, and they're probably going to cut corners to get these things up and running faster. Thank you very much.
Renewable energy has also gotten a boost from big corporations, hoping to address climate change by offsetting their greenhouse gas emissions. Urvi Parekh is the head of renewable energy for Facebook.
We've set a goal that in 2020...
Did you like that PR moment?
Yeah. Let's show a picture. They wrote Facebook on the wind turbine. Yeah, let's take a picture. Yeah, global warming.
With their special non-acidic pens, of course.
Global warming.
Parekh is the head of renewable energy for Facebook.
We've set a goal that in 2020, Facebook, 100% of its operations will be supported by renewable energy projects. And our interest is in making sure those renewable energy projects are in the same region or electrical grid where our consumption happens.
The power Facebook is buying from Aviator will offset energy used by its data centers in nearby Fort Worth and New Mexico.
Just shut down those data centers.
The huge data centers. Why does Facebook need these
Yeah.
What are they doing that requires these huge new data centers? Are they offering some new technology we're not aware of? Are we doing Facebook VR or something? What the hell are they doing? Why do they need those huge...
Servers require so much energy.
Track you. That's all they need, the data centers. The data centers to track you. That's all. There's only 6 seconds on this report.
Facebook has already bought enough renewable energy to power about 75% of its operations.
Yeah, they bought. That's key. Bought.
Yeah.
They're not actually doing anything. Facebook doesn't care. Okay.
And again, you have the gas companies.
Yes.
They're doing a lot of investment in these technologies.
Because these wind turbines have natural gas backups to power them. Because what happens, I have a video from BP. What happens when wind stops blowing? They'll answer the question. I got you.
Oh, nice.
Welcome to Fowler, Indiana. One of the windiest places in America. And home to 3 BP wind farms.
BP wind farms, baby. BP.
In the off chance the wind ever stops blowing here,
The off chance.
The lights can keep on shining thanks to our natural gas. A smart partner to renewable energy.
It's what it
It's
is.
always ready when needed. Or not. At BP, we see possibilities everywhere to help the world keep advancing.
All right, for those of you who don't know what BP is, from Wikipedia, BP plc, formerly the British Petroleum Company plc and BP Amoco, plc, is a multinational oil and gas company headquartered in London, England. It is one of the world's 7 oil and gas supermajors, whose performance in 2012 made it the world's 6th largest oil and gas company, the 6th largest energy company by market capitalization, and the company with the world's 12th largest revenue turnover. It is a vertically integrated company operating all areas of the oil and gas industry, including exploration and production, refining, distribution, and marketing, petrochemicals, power generation, and trading. It also has a renewable energy interest in biofuels, wind power, and solar technology. These are supposed to be the bad people. The bad guys. Remember? These are the bad guys. No, they're the good. They're the bad guys just refacing themselves, and now they're selling windmills instead. This is perfect. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Perfect. Let's trick everybody. There's a reason why.
And now they can get all those tax breaks.
There's a reason why they don't want to talk about nuclear. There's a reason.
And there's a reason why they have a vested interest.
Yes.
They keep making money, funding their natural gas. And now they're apparently...
It's painfully obvious. Yeah. Painfully obvious. It's sad, but it's fine. HealthyTalkShow.com/support. If you'd like to help support independent information, we can talk about stuff like this. Real hard to find information like this on the internet.
Yeah.
In a podcastable form, high quality. Switching gears now to a study. Harvard actually proved that stress causes gray hair.
A lot of people are probably under the impression more stress turns your hair gray faster, right? Well, now researchers at Harvard University, they're trying to prove it using mice. A group of researchers say it comes down to the animal's sympathetic nervous system, the part which activates a fight or flight response. Scientists say under stress, the nerve is highly activated, releasing a substance to increase your heart rate, help you react quickly without even really thinking about it. However, that same substance has an effect on the follicles in your hair, which determine the hair's color. Researchers observed changes in the mice's hair color after putting them through treatments to induce that stress. They say the sympathetic nervous system and pigment-producing cells in mice are very similar to humans. Scientists are hopeful to use this new information to better understand how stress affects people and how to limit negative consequences of it.
Hyperactivation of sympathetic nerves drives depletion of melanocyte stem cells.
Yeah, very well done study. They looked at a lot of different factors. She summarized it pretty well, but basically what it says is that your sympathetic nervous system, aka the fight or flight response, that releases that stress hormone, and that takes these melanocyte stem cells out of their dormancy, stresses them out. They become active when they're not supposed to. And then that causes them some damage and may even cause them to permanently die, and then they can't regenerate and continue to make the melanocytes that give your hair pigment. So it's pretty interesting. They also tested that it wasn't cortisol, so it's not from your adrenal gland, but rather from the sympathetic nervous system, so your brain. And the little tidbit that she didn't throw in there, which I thought was super cool, is they mentioned this could be kind of an evolutionary throwback, because do you know how octopus, they can change their color when they get stressed?
Yeah.
So maybe it's like from that, because it's that quick response, and then it causes
a quick change.
Yeah, except we don't.
Fascinating.
Yeah, we're not like octopus, so we just go gray.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
See, look at that. Good science there.
Yeah, now I just feel like an octopus.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Moving on to something that's really completely useless, created by Google, apparently. It's a way to transform your phone and help with phone addiction and stuff.
When it comes to mobile phones, people find all sorts of strategies to limit and control their use. Some people buy a much simpler second phone and try to use it at weekends, and other people go to great lengths to hide their phones. We wanted to create a really simple, accessible way for people to experience a digital detox, so we made Envelope.
It's
This is way too much.
Envelope that you put your phone in, and then it covers the screens, and then there's buttons on the envelope to limit your phone usage, so you can only have like numbers or. It's very bizarre.
All you need to do is seal your phone inside to transform it into a much simpler device. You can make and receive calls. You can speed dial a favorite number. And there's even a little clock to tell the time.
I like that clock just because
it's kind of cool.
I want that on my wall though.
I was gonna say that.
And then you have to, you kind of tap it to get it to go off. But that is a cool clock. It just lights up the numbers. That's really cool.
The idea is to try and last as long as possible before opening the envelope and getting your old phone back.
That's sad.
Wait, what's the reward?
The camera envelope removes all the functionality of your phone apart from the camera. So you can only take photos and videos too. But you have to wait until the end of the day before you can look at them. We hope you like these little concepts.
I thought this was fake,
to find your
but I'm
balance
pretty sure it's real. I'm pretty sure this is real.
Wow.
I'm 99.9% sure this actually exists. Google makes this. The Verge reported on it, so that's why I was really confused. The Verge, a lot of other people were reporting on it. This is real. Very strange.
I'm really curious. So they're going to start marketing this, and then do you have to buy multiple envelopes? Because they were kind of ripping in the video, so I still have a lot of questions. But
yeah, I have no idea.
Is it a joke?
Maybe. I have no idea. Hey,
if it's real,
I hope not.
Yeah.
Phone addiction is real. That's why I didn't want to run with this. I'm thinking this can't be real, but then I started vetting it because I see a lot of fake stuff, of course. Stuff we find. Come on.
I know.
Crap. I don't know. We'll see. Following up on this one.
And then it's kind of more disturbing because it's Google.
Yeah.
And then they're if this is real, they're timing how long you last.
Yeah, well,
I'm not
they
sure.
know that.
I'm sure.
They want to know. They track all that stuff.
I
It's
know, but
behavioral conditioning.
I know. Well, but what exactly? So what do you?
Stop using your phone, everybody. That's what I say.
But what are they going for? The psychological. I'm really paranoid.
I know.
Because they know.
Well, you ready to get real paranoid? Because I can get you more paranoid. Because you're from Google. I can go to the CIA. So you want to go from Google to this might not be a real product to the CIA and how it reverse engineered its torture program. Let's listen to this.
On Tuesday, the psychologist identified as the architect of the CIA's torture program testified for the first time at the military court at Guantanamo Bay. James Mitchell was in the courtroom for a pretrial hearing for 5 9/11 suspects who'd been subject to torture, euphemistically called enhanced interrogation techniques. Mitchell and his partner, Dr. Bruce Jessen, were paid $81 million to help design the CIA's torture methods, including some of the most abusive tactics.
Yeah.
81
A lot of money, I know.
Yeah, dang.
A lot of money.
Hope it was worth it.
Yeah.
Reversed engineered psychological principles designed to help people.
Explain what Siri was.
Siri is a training program that U.S. officers are subjected to in order to resist torture. And he took psychological concepts like learned helplessness that were developed to understand the behavior of animals who are subject to repeated controlling and coercion, and engineered them to induce, in the CIA's words, debility, despair, and dread in detainees, so they became helpless upon their interrogators and would confess. In many cases, obviously false.
And soldiers were trained in it, right? Survival, evasion, resistance, and escape.
Right, that's the acronym, yeah.
But then they reverse engineered it to do this to prisoners.
Yes, and Syria was designed emerging out of the Korean War because U.S. soldiers were subjected to severe forms of psychological and physical torture by their captors, the sort of Chinese communists. And so these techniques were designed to instill resistance in U.S. soldiers should be subject to this again. But the CIA used these techniques not as training for defense, but to deploy them on human beings and destroy them.
Damn. That's what the CIA does, but holy moly guacamole. Torture.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's kind of a smart tactic what they were thinking.
Yeah.
but
it works.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
They
brutal.
were
It is
destroying
brutal.
people, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were destroying people physically
Yeah.
and psychologically. All right, and rounding off the evening, a little political. Tom Steyer, the guy, well, he overheard the little spat between Warren and Bernie Sanders on stage. First, he said he never heard it, but then he lied about it. He actually did hear it. But here's just him lying. 41 seconds.
Was it your impression they were burying the hatchet or still sniping at each other?
You know, I didn't really hear it, Allison.
And they were having a
Didn't hear it.
conversation that I didn't really hear. I think they were trying to figure out something between the two of them, but I didn't really hear what it was.
I really wasn't listening.
What?
They were talking about getting together or something. I really didn't listen. I didn't really hear anything. I was going over to say goodnight. The last thing I wanted to do was get in between the two of them and try and listen in. That was not my goal, and I didn't do it. So I was asked over and over and over what they were saying to each other, which of course I could hear.
Wait. Oh my God. He said, of course I could hear. Yeah. Oh man. What happened to I wasn't listening. I know. Can we just hear him say that
Tom Steyer is running for the Democratic nomination for president. Don't know why.
I was asked over and over and over what they were saying to each other, which of course I could hear. But I also felt like it was a private conversation they were having. My oldest son texted me within 2 minutes and he said, "Dad, whatever you do, don't be a snitch."
Yeah,
What?
Dad, don't be a snitch and tell the truth about what happened.
That story
That's
doesn't
one of the
even
YouTube
make
comments.
sense
I
to
know.
me.
This is weird.
Like a weird kid.
Well, Tom
story.
Steyer came out of nowhere anyways. He
Yeah.
bought Polster. He did. Nobody even knows who he is. I don't know how he's in.
This is a big press moment now.
Yeah.
He's being
Lying.
interviewed. Yeah, lying.
Sorry to do that to you, everybody. But healthytalkshow.com/support.
Thank you so much to those who have donated. We really appreciate the donations. We really appreciate those sustaining monthly donations as well. That helps keep us going. And where else can you get such independent media? We try to deconstruct everything, give you the best knowledge that we can. We need your support and your love.
Yes. Lots of love. We record Healthy Talk Show live on Mondays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have a chat room that gives us lots of love. You can be in there giving us love too. Head on over to healthytalkshow.com/live. Please send your question, comments, or concerns over to ask@healthytalkshow.com. Love and light.
Love and light.